my experience of non-timelessness, well, non-time, just period, timelessness, not non-time. In my experience of just everything being one, I have to explain because I would say some of the deepest and the most ancient teachings are the most reliable because they were the simplest. We added more details and difficulty into it as we went. But to take it all away, like let's say when a person dies, we're going to go about the barcodes and how long it takes you to go from one life to the next life. Well, this is actually how it really happens. And when people have a past life experience, it's more or less what those energies were in. Let's say you die. Your spiritual energy, which was a concentrated vibe receptor in your brain, which was interpreting all those things, which allowed your spirit to control your body with enough life essence combined. Okay? Those life essences, just like in a physical sense, enough molecules and cells or stuff form a cell. Well, in a spiritual sense, enough life energy, when you die, your life energy decomposes and dissipates into everything, into that oneness. And you will keep a level of consciousness based on how much you had when you died and how much you held on to in the process of death. And you can become disillusioned in the process of death and disembodiment, which a lot of people do. Even the most high up saints have lost their mind or lost their consciousness some during disembodiment because it's different every time through every body, through every course of action because you have different experiences at life. And as hard as it is to clear your mind, when you die, those things that are on your mind, in your consciousness, interfere, and sometimes they can cause more confusion on your overall bodilessness, your bodiless point of consciousness. So, what I mean by that is you have a consciousness that doesn't need your body. When it got your body, it grew inside your body with all the different various life energies you inputted into your body. The low life energies, like really dried packaged food that was really old, or like say everything you ingest has some kind of life energy. It may be really low, it may be higher than other things, but everything you ingest has some kind of life energy. So when you're dead, these tales about the bardos and all this kind of stuff, those make a lot of sense because those people held their consciousness to some point when they came back. So when their life energies gathered up and they found the parents suitable for them, they felt they could come back. But that was in a spirit of, that was in a sense of time, in a astral plane, in a secondary level of consciousness. It wasn't the oneness, because if it was the oneness, it wouldn't have been pinpointed on one anything. It would have been the oneness. So the level of personal consciousness that you get through that body is a life energy that gathers up into that baby when it's born, and when it's enough to come on out of the mom's womb. So those life energies that are gathered when the mother eats, and they go into that embryo and turn that baby into more life, like those life energies gather not just in a cellular sense in molecules, in a spiritual sense in the invisible, whatever you want to call the spirit molecules that gather together that form life. Those things gather together too. And in a non-time sense, they don't need a minute, day, 49 days, 2 weeks, tomorrow, you die today, you go up into the light, and the light was actually you coming out of the womb again, that kind of thing. Those things are just depictions of what might happen. And they are all true, according to whoever experienced them that way. Think about it. If you experienced it that way, it was true for you. So you can't take that away from a person who's experienced it. Doesn't mean it's not real. It just means you can't see it as real because it didn't happen that way for you. But the way it really happens is there is no time. And those life energies, in the course of time, have to display themselves again. And because you've been conscious once, when you die, your level of consciousness may seem like it goes to nothing, darkness. But then when it gathers up enough energy, that low level of consciousness is reborn, bam, into some life energy. It gathers into something. Your life energies may be so low that you are reincarnated as something else. But if your life energies are low, you are going to be reincarnated. If your life energies are super high and you're super conscious and you die and you keep your consciousness, you choose if you want to come back. And you can choose what you want to do. And you can choose more details to your life. And as you go through your life, they're going to go exactly the way you wanted them to, based on how much of your consciousness you contain and hold on to through your life and those experiences as you are raised and your parents tell you to do this and the society tells you to do this and you're made to do these things and you're reprogrammed through that next life, because it's not as easy as remembering how it was and going back. Like a lot of people they don't remember how it was until they're almost dead. Like some people have an experience at a young age and they become a prophet. Some people have it in a middle age like me, and because their life is so stressed out, they go back to drinking or they go out to party and they say, fuck it, life ain't worth it. It doesn't mean anything. And they want to commit suicide. And sometimes it happens to teenagers and they commit suicide. Like all those things that people do is because their level of consciousness led them to think there was a reason for it. Everyone has to understand that. So when it's non-timeless, there is no time between birth and death. There is no real whatever from the oneness. When you're in your individual point of consciousness that we play out in this time game, you're always going to come back until you truly know that you are the oneness and go back to it. And that's it. Once those energies gather up enough to formulate a brain and go inside that brain, that consciousness level grows with the spiritual energies, the life energies inside those physical energies, and then it's born again. And whatever consciousness level combines into that is all the life energies that have died in whatever area, went into the ground, were regrown into foods, and as those foods and animals were ingested into different places and then moved around, and then foods were transported from here. You got some apple juice, your mom, that when you were in the baby's womb, she ate some apples from the orchard down the road. She drank some juice from the store that came from Cambodia. She had some fish that was from Peru. She had all kinds of stuff. And those life energies are actually the energies that maintain in your consciousness. And then when you're born next, you think that this is all your past lives. But it's just those life energies are those things that you were made up of as you were born. And as you go through your life, you realize that you're all of it, because your life energy comes from everywhere. The foods you eat come from all over the place. They're shipped in from here, shipped in from there. Sometimes you grow them in your garden, and that's why you feel so close to home. And the people who don't feel close to home are usually people who don't eat the food that comes from their ground in their home. If they eat the food that comes from the ground outside their house, they feel much closer to their house. If they live in the city and they never have anything growing outside, they don't really feel that close to their thing unless they feel close to the people that are there, or unless they were born there and never moved from there, and that's why they stay there, because they're a product of that area. And they were brought up in that area again and again and again, and that's how those things happen. I hope that's a good explanation, because that's how it really works. And in that sense of when you go into that oneness, you see it all. But when you come out of it, you can't interpret it, because it's so long in the course of time to even try to explain it to anybody that it becomes pointless to try to explain it, because we just need to understand that we're here right now, and we can make the choice to change it for the better and not worry about anything in the past that happened. And all those past lives and all those things are just energy moving around in physical form and in spiritual form, and playing a wonderful movie out for us all to experience and love and enjoy. So take it as that, and I love you guys. Until next time, peace.